This is Mr. Keevy again. We're going to have another tutorial on how to use databases to complete your research. This tutorial will be very similar to the one for opposing viewpoints, but this time you're going to learn how to use Academic Search Complete. The main difference between the two databases is that Academic Search Complete is a very large database that allows you to search for information related to almost any topic or discipline. If you're having trouble finding sources in opposing viewpoints, Academic Search Complete would be a great option for conducting your research. Okay, so first you're going to go to the TCL webpage, then you're going to click on Library LRC like you did before with opposing viewpoints. And then once you've clicked on the Find Articles databases, it's going to take you to this page. And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll notice that Academic Search Complete is the first database on this list. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Now, Academic Search Complete, it looks a little similar, but there's some things you need to know about. One of the things I'll be talking about today is limiters, especially in a database like this, because you can pull up tens of thousands of hits on some topics. So the first thing you always want to do when you're using Academic Search Complete is click on where it says limit your results, click on full text. So, because some of the articles in here are not complete articles, they're just summaries of an article, you're required to use a full text article. Now, what you can do is you can do a very simple search by typing in a keyword search. So we could go, let's say, physician. Okay, so notice again, like in opposing viewpoints, as you type words in, you get a list of related topics. So probably what I would do is I would just click on this physician-assisted suicide. Now I come up with results, and I come up with almost 2,000 sources, which is a lot of sources. So what I want to do is I want to begin to sort of limit or narrow down my search a little bit. So what I can do on this page is I can scroll down some, and you'll notice right here, these are publication dates. I probably don't want to go all the way back to 1974. So if I click on this little bar here, I can slide this over to a year. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to 2008. And once I let go of that, that took me from 2000 down to 626, which is, better than 2000. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit more and see if I can narrow this further. So this is showing all results. Click right now, academic journals. Again, probably don't really need to do that. Probably what I would do is I would probably go to like magazines. It has 174. So now I'm down to 174, and that's definitely still better than 800 or 600 that we have. And I could probably, if I wanted to, narrow that a little bit more by going back to the publication date and maybe going to 2011. Now I took it down a little bit to 113. I can go to the subject thesaurus term, assisted suicide, law and legislation. I could look at that. I could look at right to die. That would take me down to 19. So I'm going to keep that in mind right now. I could look at the subject. Yeah, that's not going to help much. Language. Well, if I put it just in English, it's 111, so that doesn't really change much. So probably what I would do is I would use this subject thesaurus term, and I would maybe go to assisted suicide law and regulations, or right to die. So let's just try right to die, which is kind of the same thing. Okay, so now I'm down to 19 hits, which is, so we started with almost 2,000, and by using these limiters, we were able to go through and take that from 2,000 to 19, which is pretty manageable. You can kind of look at these and get an idea of what you might want to use, because 2,000 is too many to start with. So now let's do a new search, and let's type in, just for fun, pit bulls. Okay, So, so, whoa, let me read. Have to always watch your spelling, right? Okay, pit bulls. Uh, Pit bulls should not be banned. Pit bulls are misunderstood. Pit bulls should be banned. Now, this might be really good because of the opposing viewpoints, where you have to have two opposing. You have to understand the other sides better than your own. So let's look at. So if we just did put pit bulls real quick, just to give you an idea. If I did a search on that, 657. Well, that's not awful, but that's quite a few articles. So let's go to. Okay, so now I went from 3 to 3, and the one thing I forgot to do is I always have to click full text. That takes me down to 2. So 2 better than 600. We might want to expand our search a little bit, but this is still 1991 to 2008. So here you could even find a couple of articles that you don't have to wade through 800. Okay, so what you'll want to do then is, let's just say, okay, I want to take a look at that article. You can, where it'll either say PDF full text or HTML full text. You'll notice this says both. I'm going to click on HTML full text, and here we have the article. You'll notice it's not too long, should have some good information probably in it. Now, if you want to listen to it, you can listen to it 3 different ways: an American accent, Australian accent, British accent. I would say the British accent would probably put me to sleep in a big hurry, but that's an option you have. So here's your article. You have the same options that you had with opposing viewpoints. You could print it, you could email it, you can save it. The other thing that you can do is get your citation. So if you click on this cite button, you'll scroll down to where it says MLA, and you can simply right here copy and paste that citation. So what I would do is I would copy it, I would highlight it, copy it, and then I would open up a Word document and paste it in there. And again, we'll talk about the works cited page in a little bit. I'll probably have another video for that. So this is very easy for that full MLA documentation. So let's do just real quick one more. Let's do a new search. Let's look at one other thing. Okay. Women in military combat. Well, we'll just start with that. This is a little more specific: combat roles. Well, maybe we'll go with that one and see what happens. 49 articles. That's very manageable. I think on this one, again, I forgot to do full text, so that takes it down to 29. Keep in mind how important that clicking on full text is. It really is the best place to start with your limiters. 1990, well, this has actually been a kind of a current issue, I believe, now. So let's go to, I don't know, 2010. Takes me down to 16 articles, very manageable. I may go ahead and go to magazines, which takes me down to 10. And so you'll notice that I did full text. I changed the publication date range, and I clicked on for a source type magazines. That takes me down to 10 sources. Very manageable. You can look through these. You can read these articles. Kind of, if you want, you can, if you open the article up, let's see if this does this. No, it doesn't do it. Sometimes they'll have a little summary you can read before you read the article. In this case, it doesn't. So this is kind of what I wanted to show you, is that you can use Academic Search Premier. It's a little more straightforward maybe than opposing viewpoints, but I want to just review kind of the key things. You want to type in your search terms, and you can do it. You could just type in some terms here, or you can separate them out. So I could go teenage, abortion, uh, parental consent. That's one of the topics on the list. Okay, so I've got 21 here. Again, I want to click full text, takes it down to 16. 16 is very manageable. I don't believe that I would have to really do anything else unless I wanted to go down to all results. These are academic journals and magazines. I could click on magazines. Now I'm down to 6. So the thing that I really, really want you guys to keep in mind is with Academic Search Complete, your ability to narrow your topic or use the limiters makes it much easier, because if you just type in a general term, you could get, as you saw, 2,000. I've seen topics that have turned up 13,000. So in the future, in any of your classes where you're required to do research, your ability to not only access Academic Search Complete, but your ability to go ahead and use it and manipulate it and understand how these limiters work and how they can contribute to successful research rather than being overwhelmed, I think is a skill that goes way beyond English 101. So I hope this helps as you now begin your research.